Hi everyone, today I will discuss with you about my experience of the Minoxidil treatment to fight my androgenetic alopecia. So I took this treatment for 10 years, so I think I have a good experience to share with this. But first of all, and because it could be considered as conflict of interest, I have to say that I have a French hair topper and wigs brand, so I think it's important for you to know that, because my thoughts are totally objective, I think, and I'm actually sure of it. But when you hear someone share his experience, it's important to have his background to just have the information. So I will show you my wonderful alopecia at the good moment in the video. Stay tuned. So I started Minoxidil when I was around 20 years old, because I saw a dermatologist that directly understood that I had androgenetic alopecia. I first make some blood analysis, I took some iron and vitamins supplementation, but it was not enough, and after 3 months he said that it was androgenetic alopecia, so it's female pattern, hairloss pattern. I don't know, it's hairloss for women. And so I started to take this medicine when I was around 20 years old. It was Minoxidil 10%. So psychologically, I think I was a bit sad to say to myself that I had to take this treatment for life, because I understood it very quickly. This treatment is for all your life. But I had also a lot of hope to have hair growth. Actually, when I was 20, nobody could see my androgenetic alopecia. It was not obvious at all, even for me. I think only my mother saw that I had less hair than before, but it was even not really a problem for me, because I had still a lot of hair at that moment. But it was also the moment I discovered that I had androgenetic alopecia, because my mother asked me to see a dermatologist because she noticed that I had less hair. It's important to say that it was not really a problem for me, because when I started to take the Minoxidil, I understood that I had a problem that was not visible for me at that moment. And this treatment was a bit humiliating for me. I don't know why, but it's because, you know, it's something that you put on your hair every day. It's a bit oily, only a bit. I took it for 10 years, so I think it's okay. You can put it on your hair, it can be okay. But still, if you have your hair that are clean, that are just washed, and you put this, the hair does not seem just washed anymore. So I started to take this medicine every day, every single day of my life. And I really wanted to have hair regrowth, so I put a lot of hope in this medicine. I did not have hair loss at the beginning of the treatment. I know that some people can have shedding for the 2 or 3 first months or during the first weeks of treatment. I didn't notice anything actually. And maybe after 3, 6 months, 1 year, I started to see some little hair here, like a lot of small hair like this. And I remember thinking, but maybe it's because of Minoxidil, I don't know, I was happy of this little hair. But after some years, maybe 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 5 years, this little hair were still here, but my alopecia was still worse and worse. And I don't know if it was only a perception because the complex was growing, but I don't think so. I don't think it was just a perception, a psychological perception. I remember that when I was around 28 years old, so after maybe 8 years putting some minoxidils, looking at me in the mirrors of the elevators and only seeing this area that was not that bold, but even with the minoxidil and with this little hair, my alopecia was still growing, was still evolving. Sorry, I will check again. Evolving. My alopecia was getting worse and worse, and for me it was not satisfying to see. I was not satisfied of the result because it was a lot of constraint to apply this product every day and to still see my alopecia and to still don't have enough hair for me. So after maybe 5 years, I was becoming very tired of putting this product every day. So I started to be not that regular. It was one day and the other day no, and the third day yes. It was very hard to be regular. My alopecia was getting worse, and the complex also. So I decided to see another specialist because I only saw one. So I thought maybe another one could be my hero that will find what is my real problem. And I took an appointment in a center that is specialist of hair loss in Paris, that is Centre Sabro. And in this center I met a woman that was dermatologist also, and that told me that I had androgenetic alopecia. I told her that I was a bit tired of the minoxidil, that it was hard for me to be very regular every day, and she said to me that we could try Androcure, that is a big hormonal treatment that I refused to take because I saw that it was forbidden by the FDA at United States. So I was a bit afraid of this, and I think I was right when we discovered 10 years later that it could have meningioma risk. And she also told me that I could take the minoxidil 5%. So this minoxidil is usually prescribed only for men because it has some side effects on women that could be not that good, but she told me that it would be more efficient because the concentration of the molecules is higher. So I started to take this minoxidil 5%, so it's ROGAINE 5% I think. And then it was weeks and months of nightmare because I think the formula was not exactly the same. I think there is maybe more alcohol, I don't know, but it scratched a lot on my scalp. It was really, really, really hard to not spend the whole day doing this, scratching me like a totally crazy girl. So I continued because at this moment I was too afraid to stop. My scalp was very, very, very sensitive to this treatment, but I continued, and after some months, maybe my scalp died, I don't know. It lost the fight, and it didn't scratch me after maybe 3 months. I also noticed some other little side effects, so I think it's also with 2% treatment, but I have some hair growth here because when you put minoxidil, sometimes you have little water drops, and it can go here. So it's really important to wash. But even with wash, I had some long. It was not hair. It was something else, but long hairs. It was really, really sexy. And they were so thin that it was difficult to move out. not to move out, to remove. It was difficult to remove. And it was the same with 5%, so I was happy because I still did not have a lot of hair here. I still had my alopecia growing, but now I could have hair here. It was cool. And last but not least, when I was in holiday, one day I noticed on my foot a little curly hair on the top of my foot. So just imagine here, one. And I'm sure it was thanks to Minoxidil treatment because I never had this before. And this one was very thick and a lot of straight in it. And I think that all the energy of this treatment was in that hair. It took all the efficiency of the treatment. So in my head, still no real result. But on my foot, I had one beautiful brown, dark curly hair. So it was really sexy also. So after several years, I just need to say that I also removed the curly hair on my feet. I have it here. It's a joke. So after several years, I decided to stop because it was too much energy for a result that was not good for me, because I was still very focused on my alopecia that was getting worse and worse every day, and it was too much energy for nothing. And when I decided to try to have a baby, this is the moment I decided also to stop Minoxidil, because I didn't want to take this treatment while I was pregnant or even while I was trying to have a baby. 1 year after the birth of my baby, I started to lose a lot of hair, so maybe the absence of Minoxidil also did not help. Maybe I should start again the treatment, but with breastfeeding and everything, I lost a lot of hair, and this is the moment I decided to start the hair topper that literally changed my life. And so now I will explain why this solution is better for me. It's like my video with hair fibers that you can check also on the playlist, English videos about hair topper, alopecia and wigs. You have a lot of videos about alopecia, wigs, and the solution that we can use. So this is the same reason. So I will show you my alopecia now. So I stopped every treatment 5 years before now. Sorry for my English. I'm a bit tired, so it's hard to discuss. So you can see that there is a real alopecia. My hair is clean, so it's not that it's massive, but it can be very worse, trust me. And with Minoxidil, even if I could have maybe a bit more hair, and it's true that now I don't have this little hair that I had before, I deeply know that with Minoxidil I will never have a real density again like a normal girl. And what I just want is have the density of hair of a normal woman. Someone told me that girl is not a good word for a grown-up woman. So I try to not use it anymore. So you can see it's the result with a hair topper. I will never have this kind of result. So it's a topper from Comme Diadème, Autumn Leaves. Even with Minoxidil 20%, I will never have this kind of result. I think I put it not the good way. It's not the good way. I don't find the word, but I need to put it a bit forward. So just here it will be better. Okay. So it's easy. It's 10 seconds if you put it the good way first. And I will never have this density with any pills or with any treatments. It's not possible. And for me it's less energy, so it's a bit more expensive, yes, but I really think that the loss of energy that you have when you are still fighting and fighting against something that is that is physiologic, it's like fighting against aging against age. We are all getting old, and it's normal. It's something that is physiological, and we cannot fight against something that is physiological. We can fight, but it's a lot of energy for results that are really, really small. And for me, I am now more in peace, because when I was trying to find every day on internet solutions against hair loss, treatments and pills and everything, it was each time hope and deception, hope and deception. And I was tired of this, tired to put some things on my hair. And every day on YouTube, on my previous videos that are in English or even in French, I have a lot of people that are telling me, oh, I have this solution that you could take. You could take these pills or put this thing on your scalp, and you will see we have a lot of results. First of all, I don't think that's true, because if a solution was on the market, I think we would all know about it, and we will not see any man that is bald on the street. As long as you see men that are bald on the street, you just can be sure that there is no treatment, because androgenetic alopecia on women are the same physiological causes for men. So I really think that if there is something that is efficient, we would know it, okay? It's not some weird remedy that will treat me. No, it's not a problem in my alimentation. It's not in the way that I stress myself, or the way that I eat, or the way that I don't do sport, or that I eat gluten, or everything. It's not that. It's not something that is psychological. It's something about the receptor on our cells here that contain the hair, that are more sensitive to DHT. So it's not something that we can change with anything that you put on your scalp. Even if Minoxidil is a treatment that has a good clinical trial result, so it's one of the only treatment, and it's important to say, if you want to try a medicine that proof its efficiency by a clinical trial. So this is why I discussed about this treatment. But even if this medicine can be efficient, it depends of women, it will never be, I think, an efficiency that you will find a lot of hair like you never had any problem. It's not true. Sometimes young women come to see me and ask me, should I try Minoxidil or not? I think it's a pathway that we all need sometimes to take. Maybe we all need to fight a bit against alopecia to after discover that maybe we are tired of it. You cannot burst all the steps. For me, it was my story. I took Minoxidil for 10 years and I didn't have energy anymore, and the hair topper was my real big solution, and I was so happy of it. But maybe if we start the story from the beginning, you give me this at 20, I would say, oh my god, no, I don't want to wear this. I was not ready in my mind. So it's important to be ready, and I think that to be ready, maybe you have to deeply understand that all the solutions that you tried are not good enough, or maybe they will be good enough, we don't know. There is no problem to try. It's not a problem to try for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months if you need. And if you are happy with the result, you can continue, and maybe one day you will not be happy with the result and you can change. It's really important to make your own experience. I will not say that for every pills or every miracle lotion that you can find on the market, because it's important to not spend too much money in things that are very not good for you, because you will lose your money, and you will lose your hope, and you will have a lot of deception. But Minoxidil is a medicine. It has results in a clinical trial. So if you want to try ROGAINE, you can try ROGAINE and see the result on yourself. But it's also important to not put too much hope in it. You will not become like this again. You will, I think, never recover all your hair, except if it's not a real androgenetic alopecia. But I really think that with real androgenetic alopecia, it will help you to keep your hair that is here, maybe have little regrowth. But if you are like me under, you saw me. If you are like this, you will never be like this. I don't trust it. I don't think it's true to imagine that you can have all this hair again with any treatments against alopecia. For me, my solution is hair topper, but I'm sure that for a lot of women, it's difficult to imagine to wear a toupee. To wear her hairpiece, it has to take some maybe months or years to accept the idea. But once you accept the idea that it's just a beautiful hairpiece, a beautiful accessory that can make you just more beautiful again, and that it's easy, and that you have just the right to wear this kind of piece, after it can be a real liberation. It can be a change in your life. Because now with this kind of hair, I can feel really pretty. And for years, with all the treatments on the earth, I was not feeling that I could be pretty. So I'm really happy now. So don't hesitate to ask if you have any question on the comment section. You can also send me mails on the website here. There is a formula if you have some questions about hair topper, wigs. I don't give any advice about medicines, pills, etc. because I'm not a dermatologist, I'm not a doctor or anything. I can only give you my experience with a medicine in particular that I took for 10 years, but it's only my experience, and it's not because it didn't work really well on me that it will not work better on you, okay? But if you have some question, and if you want to learn more about hair topper and wigs and this wonderful hair world that you can discover, it's on the playlist English videos about alopecia, hair topper and wigs on my YouTube channel. Don't hesitate to subscribe and to click on the bell to have the notification. I have a lot of videos in French, but I have also a lot of videos in English. So see you soon in my next video.